welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Fenty Beauty Snap Shadows. If you do want to see a review and a demo, please keep watching. I purchased 2 of her Snap Shadows. I purchased it in 3 and 4. The number 3 is Deep Neutrals and the number 4 is Rose. Here's a closer look on what the packaging looks like. This is in the number 3. It says Fenty Beauty and then it has a big 3 on it. At the top it does say the shade name, so this one is Deep Neutrals. And then when you turn it over on the back, you do have a little bit of a description and then you have the ingredients. And at the bottom you do have the little barcode. Open up the Snap Shadow number 3. Have that number 3 and then it says Fenty Beauty. When you turn it over on the back, you do have the shade names. Well, here we go. You do have the shade names. So let's go ahead and open this up. Whoops, looks like we lost the little insert. Here's that little film that it comes with to protect the shadows. It does come with a mirror, which is nice. For some reason, I expected this palette to be a little bit bigger. It seems kind of small in my opinion. I do want to compare the size to one of my other miniature palettes. This one is by Juvia's Place. You can see side by side, the Juvia's Place is a little bit larger than the Fenty. Even the shadows, they look a little bit small in the pan. I do want to read a little bit about this eyeshadow palette on Sephora.com. It says a portable mini eyeshadow palette of 6 shades in a range of matte to shimmer finishes. Use them solo or snap any 2 palettes together for your own custom combo. I do want to open up the second shade in number 4 just so we can see that snap feature. I'm not going to swatch it. Here we have both palettes. Here's number 3 and here's number 4. We're just going to snap these. Pretty sturdy snap. Number 3. I'll show you what number 4 looks like. Whoops, we lost that little film. I'll keep that one side. Here's what 4 looks like, and here's what 3 looks like. I'm not sure why they thought this was a good idea. What's the point of having the 2 small eyeshadow palettes snapped together? For travel, for convenience, I guess maybe that's it. In all honesty, I wouldn't snap these together and use them. It doesn't make any sense for me. I would just unsnap it, have it laid on my desk or table, and just use the shade. Not sure why they thought it was a good idea. The palettes are pretty sturdy after you snap them together. Like, it's not gonna fall out unless you break them apart like that. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't understand the concept behind it. Anyways, let's see if these shadows are any good. The first shade we're gonna swatch is called Nudie Booty. This shade is soft in the pan. Here's what that shadow looks like. Wow, that swatched very nicely on the back of my hand. The next shade is called Heaven Sent. This is a shimmer shadow. The first shade was a matte. Here's what Heaven Sent looks like. A little bit of pigmentation, I like that. All right, Rihanna, I see you. It's nice, it's pigmented. The shimmer pops. The next shade is called Smash or Pass. It's another shimmer shadow. Soft in the pan. One's pigmented as well. I'm not mad so far. I like how these are swatching. The next shade is called Fire Freak. This shadow is a matte shade. Here's what that shade looks like. Ooh, it's pigmented. Here's what Fire Freak looks like. Very pretty. The next shade is called Shots Fired. Another matte shadow. Here's what that shadow looks like. Pretty. The last shade in the palette is called No Fudge Given. Soft matte shadow. Here's what that shade looks like. I really like that brown shadow. Here we have all 6 shades swatched on the back of my hand. Now we're gonna create a look using this palette. Taking a fluffy brush, we're gonna dip into the shade Nudie Booty. We're gonna be applying that all over the crease. It's pigmented. I love how easily that blended out. I'm gonna be doing the same thing for the other eye. I forgot to tell you guys how much these retail for. These retail for $25 each. $25 each for these mini palettes. That's kind of up there in my opinion. This palette does come with a mirror. I'm just mad that I paid $25 for it. The Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette retails for $20. Shadows in this palette do look similar to Fenty. I only play with one shade so far from the Fenty. So I'm gonna be doing the same thing on this side. Taking that same fluffy brush, we're going to dip into the shadow Shots Fired. We're going to be applying the shade right underneath the first shadow. Something like this. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the other eye. Not experiencing any fallout while using these two matte shades. The eyeshadow is looking a little bit too smoky, so I'm just going to be taking a clean fluffy brush. We're going to go back and forth and this out a little bit more. It looks a little bit better. It's not my favorite. We can work with it. Now that we have all that blended out, taking a flat packer brush, dip into the shadow Smash or Pass. We're going to be applying that all over the lid. That's so pretty. Doing the same thing for the other eye. Here's what it's currently looking like. Taking a small smudge brush, we're going to dip into the shadow No Fudge Given. We're going to press this shade very closely to our lash line. On this side, there was a little bit of fallout versus this side. That's okay, we're going to clean everything up at the very end. This time we're going to be taking a smaller flat brush. We're going to dip into the shadow Heaven Sent. We're going to apply that in the center of our lid. I don't want to cover up that little smudge line that we created. If we do make a mistake, we can go back in using the shade in No Fudge Given. I'm going to press and pack that shadow in the center of our lid. I was expecting more of a pop from the shade in Heaven Sent. Let me wet my brush. My brush is now wet. Let's go back into the shadow in Heaven Sent. Adding the shade in Heaven Sent in the center of my lid did not make a difference in the eyeshadow look. I'm just gonna skip that altogether. Going back into the shadow Smash or Pass, we're gonna try and cover that shadow in Heaven Sent. It was a little bit too light for the look. In the inner corner, I'm going to take the shadow in Fire Free, apply that in the inner. Ooh, that's pretty. I've never applied a matte shadow in my inner corner before. This looks really interesting. I'm going to clean up the fallout underneath my eyes, apply mascara, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts. I dusted away the fallout underneath my eyes and I applied mascara. Mascara I applied is by Stila. This is their Extreme Lash Lips. I applied the shade in Ashton by Anastasia Beverly Hills. My final thoughts on the Fenty Beauty Snap Shadow in the shade number 3. I enjoyed using all the colors in this mini palette. It does come with a mirror, which is super exciting for me. You guys know I love any eyeshadow palette that comes with a mirror. I definitely think it's a must have a mirror in every eyeshadow palette. How are you going to see yourself or see your eyeshadow look? Carrying an additional mirror on top of everything else that you have to travel with? Or what if you end up forgetting your mirror? What are you gonna do? I definitely think mirrors are key. I do like the shades in this eyeshadow palette. They are neutral everyday shadows. I love the formulas in the shimmer and in the matte. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.